Hi, so I'm on a roll because here I am after 3 videos yesterday. I'm recording again today. But I wanted to respond to a comment which sparked oh, I could talk about this. And the comment was, thank you for your content. As a young man trying to elevate, you help me understanding the energy dynamic between men and women. It's something that has faded in translation from generations. Is energy still transferred and transmuted between man and woman if they haven't had sex? Only asking because I was getting to know and connecting with a woman and I started to feel anxiety, which I had already overcome, but it's something she struggled with. I had also retained for a couple of months and was super magnetic. I also have so many more questions, but this will do for now. 1, answer, ask all the questions that you want. But, okay, you have to remember that the feminine is the receptive one. And it's not that a woman can't influence you, but she is there to receive. She is receptive in her own lunar nature. So sex, you don't have to have intimate interaction to give energy to a woman. And this is, you have to sit there and think about the dynamic with a man and a woman, that the gaze, the male gaze is actually you giving energy to a woman and she's receiving it through your eyes. So in essence, you can still have and create a energetic space where she's receiving without sexual interaction. This is why ultimately it feels really uncomfortable for women. Like, you know, if you're in a relationship and you're essentially like giving your energy without intimacy. So for example, you're walking down the street, your partner, and you're like, you see a beautiful woman and you stare a little bit too long. Essentially you are giving away your energy, and her nervous system is so fused to you. She knows when that light is being taken away from her source. We are innately like ingrained to feel that way. So you know where we go, oh, it's women's intuition, women's intuition, women's intuition. It's not necessarily women's intuition. We can feel something being taken away and given to elsewhere. That's because of our nervous systems being fused to you. The other thing, like, you can give energy through touch. You can give energy through speech. And essentially, like, the throat chakra, your expression is the same as, it's a creational energy. But this is the masculine force, which is it's like, let me slow down. The throat chakra and the sacral chakra are both expression chakras. So chakras, if I want to pronounce it right. And the womb space, so I forgot the official word for it, the Swanastana center, which is the sacral chakra, is the feminine aspect of self-expression. So it's representing like sexual energy and things like that. And the masculine is the throat. So your word that you speak your word. And essentially in the culture, the Hindu culture, they understand that masculine ejaculation is essentially you speaking your word. You're putting your word out into the world. So it's like you essentially, like, this is how you have to ultimately think of what was it, did I call it? Retaining. This is how you have to think of retaining. You wouldn't speak most of the time just for the sake of speaking, because it is just literally a waste of energy, and most of the time you're not creating anything. You have to have, essentially, as a man, intention with your word and what you speak. The same energy should be going into your life force, like your sexual life force. You wouldn't speak if there was no need to speak, so to speak. Yeah, pardon the pun. So, giving your energy in any way and interacting with a woman is essentially feeding something to her, and not in a negative sense, but you are meant to be fed for her to give back. Yeah, you are meant to feed to have her transmute and basically bat that energy back to you. But also, this is where you have to sit there and think about this, yeah, because most of the time when we're interacting with a woman, she essentially becomes your mirror. She reflects you back to you, yeah. She reflects you back to you. So, you know, you're talking about, oh, you started suffering with anxiety and blah, blah, blah. It wasn't that she was giving you energy. She was reflecting essentially something back at you, that you can either be consumed by that anxiety and become that anxiety, or go and sit like strength in the mind and go, why am I feeling anxiety? What does she represent to me? What is the thing that she's representing for me to overcome? Like, that's how you have to be handling the feminine, yeah? So essentially, she becomes the energy that you put into her. And that energy that you put into her doesn't have to be sexual, yeah? Does that make sense? So this is why ultimately it's so important for men to be handling the feminine with integrity for themselves. Integrity is the biggest thing, because what you're going to be reflected back at you is a version of you. That's why your wife becomes a representation of you, yeah? Because you're pouring energy and she transforms through that. She blossoms. Like, does that make sense? So you have to make sure that your energy is pure, your light is pure. Now, we're not going to get into the semantics of X, Y, and Z and, you know, what if she has this in the past and blah, blah, blah. Because ultimately, if you are above anything that she's interacted with enough patience and enough love and enough compassion, she will outgrow it. She's not going to be automatic. And this is where I think the masculine really, really have to understand, yes, everyone has a past. A woman has a past of can be heartbreak. A man can have a past of not trusting women. But if we're going at each other going, you should be healed, then ultimately we're not doing our divine gift of giving someone or helping someone and showing them a new reality, a new potentiality. This is our gift, to give. Like, we feel love more so when we give it than when we receive it. Let that be known. So ultimately, and I'm going off on a tangent, this is what I do, I hope you get used to it, but it's like I see things and I hear things and I'm like, okay, like this is like the egoic approach, the selfish approach. Like, ultimately we're all looking for essentially a partner that can understand us, hold compassion for us, and support us all in one way or another. And I think our generation is teaching selfishness too much, and essentially to give is a blessing, and having the opportunity to give is a blessing. But back to my original point, whenever you talk to a woman, like for example, you're talking to a woman, you're texting, like any energy is creating like this vibration that she can sit in. It can exist in a different dimension, but it's calling in a new reality. This is how you have to think of it. So where you're interacting with her, you're talking to her, you're spending time, you're investing energy, and then the sexual energy just it's like putting steroids in something and making it 10 times stronger, like with the hormonal fusing and the nervous system fusing. And at that point, that's when she can feel you. She feels you. So to answer your question, the anxiety that she's, you know, that's being triggered in you is a reflection of you from now. And this is a more important point. When we're alone and we're not being triggered, Yeah, we can think, oh, do you know what? I'm fine, I'm healed, and blah, blah, blah. No, you just don't have that specific thing in that specific relationship dynamic that's coming around to highlight something that's there. Yeah, because it's obviously showing that in relationship dynamics, there is some uncomfortability or there's some fear or some worry, and that's not a bad thing, and it doesn't take anything away from who you are. And everyone experiences anxiety, because it's not like I have anxiety, everyone's identifying with this like term anxiety. No, you just feel anxious. Yeah, you just feel anxious. So what am I feeling anxious about? Okay, I'm feeling anxious about this. Let me process it, let me communicate it, let me let it go. Anxiety gone. But also at the same time, it's important that we have the right people around us who can hold space for that. So, relationships are triggering this anxious feeling, but what does that anxiety represent? Does it represent some feeling of like not being good enough or this or that? Because it's the relationship dynamic. It's not her. It's not. And on the other end, if she suffers with it, it'll be the same thing. What is she feeling anxious about? What are the fears and worries that she has? Like, and maybe this is a beautiful opportunity to be open with one another and not clinically diagnose ourselves, and actually understand that we're just processing an emotion. And yeah, but I hope that helped. If you have any more questions, please ask. I know I like to go on tangents, but I really appreciate any feedback. I appreciate any likes. I appreciate any subscribers. I appreciate any shares. I appreciate all the comments, to be honest, because it makes me feel like, okay, look, people actually want to take interest in what I'm saying, which is nice. So thank you for the energy. I am fully receiving it. And I'm going to leave it there. And another and 1,000 ands. I hope you have a lovely day. It's sunny outside, and I'm going to go enjoy it. Bye.